Happy Saturday! Welcome to Paper Doll Saturday. This is the day where we get to play, create, cut things up, make a mess, and bring another little paper doll story to life. Every Saturday, I add something new to the Paper Dolls by Marylou collection. It might be a brand new paper doll, a fabulous outfit, a new era, new adventure, or something completely unexpected. So grab your scissors, grab your glue, settle in, and let's get ready to play with paper dolls, because around here, Saturdays are for paper dolls. Hi everyone, my name is Marylou, and this is Create Junk Journals with Marylou, and it is Paper Doll Saturday. I have the City of the Paper Dolls right here, so let's go and find a page that we can work on. So this I did not finish yet. Okay, so we have our 1960s doll, and right now I did, because I put this in here, I now have this really bulky piece. So I can do one of two things. I may just take this out and just do something different here so that it's not so bulky, which is probably what is going to happen. And then I'll have like a small piece of paper dolls right there for, right there. Actually, I'm going to do that at some point. Anyway, so I have the 60s paper doll. And if you remember, this is what last week's freebie was. The dive into summer, I decided that I wanted to do a little bit something different. I want to kind of go to a card making idea. This was last week's freebie, and it is now gone into my regular store. And I wanted to do a little bit different for this week, because, you know, I always give the accessories and everything. But last week I did all the beach accessories that you can also take to the pool and take to wherever you want to go. So I wanted to do something a little different, and I wanted to lean a little bit further towards the junk journal part. So this was the paper doll with all the bathing suits. Then I created a whole bunch of tags that you can use with her. I created a postcard, so you can cut the front and the back. You can separate the front and the back, and then you can glue them together and you have a postcard. And I think they're just lovely. They are from, it says Bonjour de Cap d'Agde and J'aimerais que tu sois ici. And this is from the Riviera and Côte d'Azur and Cap d'Agde, and yeah. So this is where I would go for the summer for when I was a teenager. And then I've made this, and this goes with this. And to be able to explain what this is, I need to just make it. All you have to do is cut all these little pieces out, and then we will put it all together. So she is going to get put to the side for a moment. And I want to build the base first. So I printed the base off on turquoise cardstock. This is 65-pound cardstock from Michael's, just the plain Recollections brand. And what I am going to do, I'm just going to turn this around, is I am going to cut along the line, the outside lines. And I'm going to grab my ruler. And I'm going to grab my knife. I'm actually going to grab my metal ruler because that's easier to use with a knife. And I'm grabbing my knife. And what I am going to do is I'm going to make a cut from right here, from this spot right here to this spot right here. So I'm just going to line that up with that line. You know what? I think it would be easier if I actually score everything first. So I have my stylus and I am just going to go, I'm going to see if I can line this up properly so that it is, because of course with the printer not wanting to do the full sheet, it is not exact measurements, but this is close enough. Okay, so I'm just going to put it right there on the line, and then it'll work, don't worry, it'll work. I can go right here as well, that is also lined up, so that at least lines up. Okay, then, oh, I also need this one right there. There we go. Okay. So I do need to make a little score on this piece and on this piece, and same on the other side. So I'm leaving this piece alone. I am not putting any, I'm not scoring anything there. Okay. So now this should all work. Should being the most important part. Okay. So now I'm going to cut right here. And I'm grabbing my knife and I'm just cutting this open. There, and I will do the same thing on the other side. Just line it up. And now it's open. Okay, so now I'm going to fold this in like that. And these go like that. And this one goes So you're kind of folding it opposite, right? So that it turns like that. So you're folding this up and then this up together, and these sides you're folding up together. So this is gonna go right here with this, yeah, with this. So I need a piece of cardstock. And I'm just going to fold it in half. And I want to make sure that it's going to fit so I can cut a little bit off of here. I'm just going to grab my scissors. So I'm just going to cut this, cut like a little bit off of it so that it will turn into two sides. And then I can cut the top part off. And I just need a sliver off of it, so not a ton, just a little bit. And then I'm going to put this right here. And I want it to come out like that. So that is okay. I just need to grab some tape so that I can put it down on one side, and then I can put it down on the other side as well. So I'm just taking a little bit of tape. I'm taping it on this side and on this side, and then I can stick it, because this is artist grade masking tape, so I can stick it right in there. And then I just need something that will hold this in. So I may just use the exact same thing and just put some glue on there so that it will be permanently attached. So let's put a little bit of glue right here on this side. And a little bit of glue right here. And I can take the tape and I can just stick it oops. I can stick it right there. And then now it hinges nicely. So I can cut this off. And I'm going to take this tape off because I don't need it anymore. And I'm going to reuse these two pieces. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue right here. There. And I'll put a little bit of glue right here. There we go. So now we have a hinge system here without having to use the page in my journal. So this is still good to go. This is good to go. And now I can put this in here and probably exactly where I just put it. So that is perfect. I want to ink around this. And I'm going to use my walnut stain. So I'll speed it up through that. Okay, did I do it neatly? No, but I'm going to cover most of it up, so it's all good. So I just need to fold it back into position now. There we go. Okay, so let's put all the pieces on it now. And I've already fussy cut around everything, and I've kept it together in order, because if I don't put it together in order, then I don't remember where everything was sitting, and then it won't work. Okay, there we go. So while I'm putting everything down, I'm also going to ink around it. And I have my example so that I remember where everything goes, because that is a big deal. Nothing is ever a big deal. In this situation it is, because it's all like I've put everything in an order that made sense to me. So once I start assembling, it's actually going to be pretty quick. And then I'll stick that right there. So these, I did print these off on sticker paper, so I don't really have to use the glue. But I think the glue is going to just help it sit properly. So I'm just going to put it, instead of putting it onto the sticker paper, I'm just putting the glue straight onto the cardstock. And then just sticking this in there. Right there, try and line it up as much as I can. There we go. Then I took some catalog images and added those in there so that like it really looks like a real junk journal. This is what we do. goes. So all I'm going to do is glue right here on this edge. And right here on this edge. Probably put glue right here as well. If it doesn't work, I can always take it off. Okay. So now I am going to find kind of the center. I want to stay just a little bit away from the edge. There. And then all I am doing is putting this page over top. I'm going to flip it this way. There we go. I like it a lot. That is so cute. Ta-da! Ta-da! Okay, so I can put a little bit of a closure in here. I don't know what I'm going to use yet, so that is going to have to wait. I can even just use a paper clip, right? Just like that. Let's just put a paper clip on there for now, and then it will stay closed. There. She can go right there, but I don't want to glue her down. I want to kind of make a pocket for her. I want to make a pocket out of the postcard, and then she can fit right in there. So I'm actually not going to use the base unless I use the base and I make like a little bit of a collage up here. I can do that. Let's do that. I want to round the corners. Oops. This is very, very hard cardstock that I printed this on. And I printed it wrong, so. Okay, giving it a little bit of rounding, ink around it. It definitely feels like a postcard now. And then I need a little bit of a thumb hole. So I like to use this one, this little baby, to create thumb holes. And all I'm going to do is just turn it upside down, kind of find the center. And then I'm just cutting like a little sliver out, and it is somewhat in the center, and then this can go right there as a pocket. These can go here as collage. Second one. And there's the lid. So now I can kind of just put these like that with this over top, and then we have a beautiful pocket with a bit of a collage right there. I'm going to take that paper clip and put it a little bit, yeah, just to keep it off for now. So I'm just going to glue this one down first. And that's just so that I'm decorating the outside of that just craft paper, because that's so kind of boring. And boring is the last thing we want in our journals, right? So I'm just going to put this like that. Lift it up a bit. If I go off the page, that's okay, because I can just cut it down. This one. And I will stick this one right here. And I'm just sticking it on that edge. It's okay. And then I can put the pocket on here. Now, if you want, you can write on there. You can put an address on there. I will probably put a stamp on it because I have a few stamps. Understatement of the century. Let's see if I can find a stamp. Right there. Okay. Put a little glue on the back of the stamp. There, so now the paper doll can go straight in here. How cute is that? Huh. So the other thing that I have is the tags. And let me grab a piece of white paper. Right here, so I can put this on here, and you can see I have all the tags right here. The ink is not quite dry, but that's okay, because I will show you what I'm going to do. And I'm going to grab my scissors. And I'm just going to cut 2 out. I'll probably cut more out later, but for now, I'm just cutting out the 2. And I'm using just scissors because I don't want to make a horrible mess. And I'm making sure that I'm not touching it because I don't want to ruin the ink. Okay, so now I have a tag. And I'm just going to punch the hole right here in the center. So now comes my big trick, because what I haven't shared yet is that this is not just plastic. It's not just an overhead projector. It is actually Shrinky Dink. So let's see what happens, shall we? I'm going to use my heat gun on the Shrinky Dink. Okay, this needs to dry for a moment or cool off for a moment and then harden. But in the meantime, while it is still hot and pliable, I'm just going to move it back so that it is straight. So that has been my biggest struggle, is to get it to be straight. But we're there. And you can see, like on here, you can see the whole design of the tag. It's just itty bitty. So I will be doing that with all of these, but I'll probably throw them in the oven because it's much easier and quicker. But I wanted to show you that if you don't have, like if you don't want to use your oven for Shrinky Dinks, you don't have to. You can use your heat gun and it actually works really nicely. So off camera, I put jump rings on the, I'll show you a little bit better. I put a jump ring on here, and I also put this in the oven because it worked much easier than doing it with the heat gun. But let me tell you, you gotta make sure that you put wax paper underneath it because otherwise they get stuck to your baking pan. You do have to, if you are printing on Shrinky Dinks, you do have to give it a moment to dry. So I will have to put the heat gun on these so that the ink completely dries, which is what I had to do for this one. But once you do that, it is completely dry and it is good to go. Then I put a little tab on here and I put an eyelet in, and now I can just hang this right here. Ooh, where is it? Right there. I can just hang it off my eyelet right there, so I have a little dangle hanging there, and then right here I put it onto, let me show you, a paper clip, and so I put the paper clip onto the misprint of the postcard, and I'll put a little ink on there so that it is not totally white, and then I can stuff it in the pocket. So we have a postcard in the pocket right there, and you can put other things in there as well, just to fill up the pocket a little bit. And again, you can write on here, you can do all kinds of stuff. I think it is lovely. And it is time to go to the next, to this week's freebie. What do you say? So let me show you what I have come up with. This week we are going for summer vacation to Florence. How beautiful. So for summer vacation in Florence, you're just going sightseeing and shopping and everything. So I thought you just need a little easy summer dress from the 60s and some little shoes and some sandals. And as you can see, all I've done is put the toes on here. So it's pretty easy to put together now. So let's just get this put together. Okay, so I have the shoes here cut out. I'll just show you all the little pieces. I have the shoes fussy cut. And I am telling you that when you go to Florence, I am telling you from experience, that you need to wear good walking shoes. You also need a hat because the sun is strong. You know, you are in Italy, so that is a travel tip from me. I am just giving it a little bit of ink. And I can now see that I didn't cut this very well, but it was very difficult. I've now put cutting lines around it or outlines around it so that it is actually visible where you need to cut. But it was very difficult because it's white on white, right? You can see right here. You can see right here that the hat is much more visible now because I've put an outline on it, and that's the same right there. The shoes are perfect, and the purse also has an outline now. Give it a quick bit of ink. And you can also do this one with black because the black will also make the green pop. And same right here. You can use black, and the black will stand out a little bit stronger against that blue than brown will. Brown just gives it a vintage look. And I need to still cut the inside of the purse. So you can see right here how much of a struggle that was compared to what you are getting right now. So there we go. We've got the purse, we've got the hats right there, purse, the shoes, and the dresses. And right there. Then I have my doll, and of course she is going to need some inking. Okay, so let's go with a nice and bright colored dress. How lovely is that? Like, it's such a summer dress. And I love that it's like the short little mini skirt from the 60s. I have my glue. And it's a pretty fitted dress, so you can put the glue pretty much all over. And I was really thinking about what theme to go with for these beautiful dresses, and then I thought, why not Florence? Why can't she go to Florence and go shopping for shoes and, you know, hats and fun things? So I'm going to open this hat up. Not all the way, but far enough that I can put part of it over her face, and then it looks like she's actually wearing the hat. I really like that idea, so just ink a little bit. And I love the bow on the side of her hat. will put glue on her head. It's a little easier. So I'll put glue right here, and I'll put glue right here. And that way, I'm not making a giant mess of her face. So it can go, it will cover her face a little bit. There we go. The hat, she is attached. Let's just move it into place properly there. How cute. Just need to get it exactly in the right spot. There we go. I really like it. And then I do want to put the little walking shoes on her. The dress is not, oh no, it's sitting in the right spot. I want to put the little walking shoes on her. Because why would you not wear walking shoes when you're in Florence, right? It's one. And let's put on number 2. There we go. What a cute little outfit. Super 60s. So much fun. And we can put the purse on her. It'll go around her. Can we put it a little higher today? Yeah, she's kind of... Can we put it right there? Sure, why not? Okay, so that's... Just lift her arm, put a little glue on the back of her arm, and then put her right there, and then we'll put a little glue right there. There we go. She's got her purse, she's got her shoes, and she's gone shopping in Florence. And she bought this hat and this dress. There we go. Perfect. That is this week's freebie. There we go. So she's a little bit simpler than all the bathing suits and everything, but I really do like it. I hope you like it too. Leave me in the comments what you think of this. And I want to do a little bit more 60s. There'll be some more outfits, and we'll be doing some 50s more, but I do want to go a little bit into the 60s. And I also want to move a little bit into the 40s. So I'm kind of expanding my time period, and it will be a surprise every time what we are going to do. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Don't forget that this paper doll is free for 1 week. And next Saturday, when there's a new freebie, she moves into the city of the paper dolls with accessories, all themed for a summer in Florence. What is it all going to be? I have no idea. There might be some statues, there might be some shopping, there might be a terrace. I don't know. I don't know yet what it's going to be, but we'll find out. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you again tomorrow for another day with the Bacon Rind City. Bye.